Hey, Tony Gasson's here. Now y'all gotta forgive me. I'm in the hotel, so that's why weird headboard and wallpaper behind me. But I'm in Beverly Hills, where I'm staying at. Came to LA for some meetings and some of my clients and colleagues and things of that nature. But I was listening to YouTube and wanted to pop in and do this little quick 15-minute video, and it was a lady and she was talking about the lady who does the sprinkle, and I know some of y'all listen to her because I see some of y'all trying to figure it out and you trying to find balance, and so your right conscience sends you over here to listen to me because you know I'm a man, you know I'm married, you know I'm faithful, you know I'm stable, you know I'm conscious. And so you're like, okay, let me hear what this quote unquote good man, perceived good man has to say. But also let me listen to what this woman who seems to understand men or can, whip a man has to say as well, and try to blend it together and try to make the most sense of it. And that is your mistake because they do not go together. And one thing I need y'all to understand, no good man wants a talking online woman who tells women how to get with a man, how to get a man with money, how to be a stay-at-home wife, stay-at-home mom. No good man wants to be a game and wants to be gamed. And the women who are online giving women relationship advice, any relationship advice that is not biblical, meaning a honest, pure, reciprocal love, any relationship advice that is not biblical does not work. It will not last. And the women who are giving y'all advice, who are engaged or married, they are with gay men. I need you to hear what I'm telling you. These men are gay men, or they are men who do not want a woman, do not want a relationship, and they really just want a sex slave. There are men who have money and they don't want accountability, they don't want responsibility, and they want their money to buy them freedom, to buy them agency. And these women who get with men for money are being 1000% played. They are going through hell on earth. It is not in a man, it is not a part of a man's nature to be played, to be with a woman who is telling women, think about that. Think about that. Think about, like, if you a woman listening to this and there's a man online and he is, let's say, in the red pill community and he's giving men advice on how to, like, how to game women, how to manipulate women, how to get a woman to sleep with you fast. And he has a woman and she knows he has an online presence doing these talks and giving away this kind of game, you as a woman, what would you say about that woman? You would say she has no self-respect. She's with him for his money that he's making online. She has a lot of trauma that she has not healed from. She's desperate for a man. Imagine a woman being with a man who tells other men, these women are HOs, you can't trust women, you gotta sleep with a woman as fast as possible. If she doesn't sleep with you fast, she doesn't want you, she doesn't like you. She has to understand you're a high value man, you have options, you don't have to be faithful. She needs to understand that faithfulness doesn't exist for men who are high value, who have options. A man is only as faithful as his options. She needs to know that if she doesn't agree with it, she can kick rocks. What kind of woman would be with that type of man? A porn star, a stripper, an escort, a woman who was raised in absolute poverty. She was violated. She just wants a roof over her head and food in her stomach. She doesn't care about nothing else. What she wants is security. She wants a place to stay. She's been through so much in her life. She will be okay being beat on, being spit on, being came on, being used, abused, dogged out, threesomes, foursomes. Her thing is just having a roof and having food, because she never had that consistently. She doesn't know what that feels like. So if being with a man who is an idiot, who is a male chauvinist, who she knows is a lame, he cries on his pillow, he's really a wuss, or what they call it. She, deep down, she knows he's a punk and he's a lame. He wants rectum action. He watches man on man. She has all his secrets, but she just wants security. She get Cartier, she get shrimp and lobster, she go to Nobu, she in Maldives. He's dogging her out, but she get to live a life that she never got to live, and that's all she care about. The same way that woman is, the man is just the other side of that coin who is with these women. So a lot of y'all the other day when I was saying men don't want women who are like front facing and like online talking, like y'all was like, Tony, well, what about the brand? A brand doesn't mean you're talking. Brand doesn't mean you're giving advice. A brand means you have a career or you have a company. Like if you start a clothing line, you have a brand. If you start a publishing company, you have a brand. If you write a book, if you become a life coach, you have a brand. But brand doesn't mean you're talking online and giving women advice of how to get a man or relationship advice. Men don't want that, because a man gonna think that you think you know it all and you know too much, and that you're gonna want to wear the pants and you're gonna want to bend him over and you're gonna want to lead him and you're gonna want to tell him what to do. That's why a man don't want that, and that's why you see all of these women who are talking online are single or going through a divorce or being cheated on or cannot meet a man. It's because they want to be known and they want to be seen and they want to have a brand, And a man wants a woman who is ambitious, but can be a wife and a mom. When a woman has to maintain and manage a business and a brand, with hundreds of thousands or millions of followers, then that man knows what goes into that. So he said, I don't want to marry a woman who has something so big that has nothing to do with the household, to where she won't be able to focus on her household. She won't be able to focus on the kids because she didn't build this million followers to just walk away from them and be a wife and a mom. And he doesn't want his entire life and his behind the scenes to be content. So the men who get with those women are men who secretly want to be famous. They want to be content, or they want to merge with her money. They know that with her money and their money, they can acquire companies. They can get a bigger house. He can get better cars. He can live a better life because not only can he make money, but she makes money. Or he can make money off of her. And so those are the type of men that they attract. They don't attract men who want a honest, genuine, real marriage that's healthy and whole and private. They don't attract those type of men. Now there are exceptions to the rule, but when it is, it's typically the man wants to be known. He wants to be famous. He wants to be out there. Like I know a guy who he does tours and he does events, and he's getting with a woman who she does podcasting and beauty stuff online. And then immediately they're now doing events together. And so that's what he wants. He wants a woman that he can do brand with, that he can do brand building with, that he can do events with. He can, double his reach, double his outreach, and that he can, because he wants money. He wants to be able to do business. He wants to be able to be bigger in the kingdom. That's why Sarah Jakes and Torrey Roberts got together. She said that it wasn't that he was just cute. She saw the impact that they can have in the kingdom. And then you see the size of Woman Evolve. Well, Woman Evolve also is that big because she appears to have it all. She appears to be a woman who has evolved because she's married. You got marriage, you got money, you got leadership, you got style, you got class, so when you in shape. So when women look at you, they're like, you have it all. So that is a woman evolved. And so they'll take and go to that event. But if she was single and lonely and couldn't get a man, then women wouldn't be going. They would go, but it would be much smaller. Like the false prophetess Tiffany Montgomery, who some of y'all follow. And I'll be honest with y'all, a man is intended and meant to be influenced by his woman. A woman is his helpmeet. But leadership is a man is intended to lead a woman. That's the way God designed it and ordained it. God didn't design for a woman to lead a woman. He didn't design it like that. And there was no example or anything that he did repeatedly and over to show that a woman is to be the head and be the lead and be the voice and be out on the front line leading this brigade of women. That's not God's design. And so that's why a lot of the women who are leading women don't even have the life that the women who follow them want. And I know that's hard to hear. It's also hard to say, but I'm saying it because it's a reality. And I noticed that a lot of mean girls and a lot of Jezebel spirits are deceiving naive, gullible, weak women. These women are coming out and they're barking and they're sounding so sure of themselves and they're sounding so strong and so confident. But as men, we're able to see through a woman because we're real go-getters. We're real hunters. We're real killers. So we can read humans and human energy. And it's a gift that was given by God when you're intended, when he knows that he's sending you out to hunt, to conquer land, to defend. You have to have a certain keen sense of awareness and be able to read people. And so as a man, I look at these women and I see weakness. I see insecurity. I see vulnerability. I see that the wrong man can stuff his manhood in her mouth and shut her up, and that she would just be completely just in awe, used, abused, mistreated by this man who looks like destiny, but he's really a distraction, disguised as destiny. And that these women who are doing this talking and giving other women relationship advice, they're really being used by Satan. And that's why they're being exposed. They're being put in this position and put in this place so that they get all of this confidence and they get all of these women to what they would call decentering men. And they get women to feel like big as, bad as, like big as a man, bad as a man, like to compete with a man, to be like, oh, he could do it, I can do it. Oh, let me win. Let me compete. Let me win. Let me get his money. Let me do him how he's done women. And they get these women to go into that mindset. And then they get exposed because a man uses them, leaves them as a single mom, divorces them, does them dirty. But yet they had all of the advice for all of these hundreds of thousands or millions of women, but really got played by the same advice they were given, or are being played by the same advice that they're giving. And I'm just here to tell you, and I'm telling y'all women, like, yes, you could be online, you can have a brand, but doing makeup tutorials, doing fashion hauls, doing day in the life vlogs is different than giving advice for life and how to live and how to think and how to behave and how to move. That's two totally different brands. So it's not that the life advice givers can't get a man. It's just that the pool shrinks from an ocean to a lake, or from a lake to a pond, or from a pond to a puddle. The pool shrinks and it becomes much, much harder to get a man. And the man who is sent by God and who is a man of God is far less. It's much fewer of those men, but only the women who are also sent by God, who are truly called by God, who are doing the will of God, and there's no narcissism in what they're doing. They're not doing it because they want to be known, because they want to be famous, because they want to be rich. And that's what 99% of people online giving advice are doing it for. They're doing it for fame and for notoriety. It's only 1% of us that don't want to be doing this, but we're doing it because God has given us a very unique gift, a gift that is not easy to replicate, a gift of a keen wisdom and an ability to articulate and to orate and to disseminate a message that is from God. And we are vessels that God can use for his glory. But it's not about our fame. It's not about our name. It's not about our riches and our wealth. A lot of people talking online are narcissists. They want to be seen. They want to be known. They want to be loved. They want to be rich. They want to be pedestalized. Like, if a person is talking and giving advice and it's not directing you to God, then you know they're sent by the devil. Point blank, period. It doesn't matter how good they sound or what they say. If they're not leading you back to God, they're sent by Satan. End of story. If they're not leading you back to God and living by the will and the way of God, they are narcissists who are sent by Satan. End of story. And that's what you have to ask. Okay, this person sounds good. Talking about money, talking about fashion, finances, looks maxing, whatever it may be. But where is God in the equation? Where is God in their lifestyle, in their walk? Where is God? The devil is really crafty, and he's using people. And now I'm hearing somebody ask me about this term of deconstructing Christianity. And I'm not fully sure what y'all mean by that. I'll do more research and look into it. But I do know the devil is crafty enough to have people use the name of God, be super holy, be super religious, talk about God, 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 and then start to change their walk, change their belief system, change their talk, almost get mad at God, almost blame God, almost try to lead people away from God and confuse people about God because their life or their prayers or whatever they wanted, they didn't get everything they wanted, or they didn't work out the way they wanted it to. So now it's God's fault. Now, is God real? Is God true? Is God honest? Is God this? Is God that? And if that's what y'all mean by deconstructing Christianity, then they are sent by Satan. God is never wrong. God does not lie. God does not make mistakes. End of story. So I was supposed to be on here 15 minutes, but somehow I went 25. And we'll keep talking about this. And I want y'all to understand, like, listen, I'm not fighting for your views. That's why you don't see a thumbnail, a custom thumbnail on this video. That's why you don't see any keyword tags. That's why you don't see anything, any tricks of the trade. I'm not fighting for your views. I don't want you to only watch me. I want you to listen to God, hear from the Lord, be sensitive to the Holy Spirit, and go where he leads you. But I don't want you to be deceived. And I will tell you, the only thing a woman can tell you about is about how to be a better woman, how to do your hygiene better, better etiquette, how to dress better, better hair care, skin care. A woman who has understood those things and achieved that level, she can tell you how to be a more aesthetic woman, wiser woman, smarter woman, whatever woman. She cannot tell you about a man. She cannot tell you how to get a man. She cannot tell you how to keep a man. And one thing I would say, just to be safe, I remember I said this and this lady was like, oh, my sister is a relationship coach and she's been married 20 years. She still don't know what she's talking about. She still don't know what she's talking about. Yes, it's simple, regurgitatable stuff that women come and listen to me and other men and then just regurgitate what we're saying to other women. But a woman is not giving you a revelation about a man. She's not telling you nothing that an honest man is not telling you or has not already told you. Nothing. And what I have found being a man is I've never found a woman online who truly knows what she's talking about. And every woman that I've seen try to give other women advice about men, it comes back to bite them in the butt. They get cheated on. They get left. They get used. They get abused. Because no man is going to be with a woman who has all of the advice about how to do this and that for a man and to a man and with a man. The only advice that will flow and that will work is when a woman is teaching women how to submit to a man of God, a good man, how to not disrespect him and use him and mistreat him and mishandle his purpose, his calling. But even then, they still end up getting played because the man looks and sees that she's too open. She's too blindly submissive. She is a know-it-all. And then he's wondering, like, why do you want to be this oracle? Like, why do you want to be this person who positions yourself as the leader of women and the woman who knows all about men? And it annoys him and it bothers him. So then the devil uses him to prove her wrong, to show that she doesn't know it all, because he starts to feel like she's giving this playbook of how she whipped him, of how she landed him. And he starts to feel like he was gamed, like he was tricked, like he was seduced. And then that right there, machismo, that ego, he said, I'm gonna show her. I'm gonna show her that she doesn't have all the game, that she doesn't have all the secrets, that she doesn't know it all. She's trying to lead these women to water as if she just has all the understanding about men. Let me show her. And that's just a trick of the enemy. Because a woman's walk is louder than her talk. A man's walk is louder than his talk. So that's why I don't give women advice about how I got my wife or how to, this and that, to where it's like to where my wife feels like a game. Instead, I tell women how not to get played by a grown boy. So that has nothing to do with my wife. And then she realizes that because I'm giving away all the game about grown boys, that I can't play the game. So she gets to rest in her feminine because she understands that I am trapped by my message. And that unless I am a narcissist like Derek Jackson, you cannot go and do the very thing you're warning women about. Only a narcissist will do that. A man who has sense and who is a normal man is not going to go play the very game that he's giving away. Only a nutcase will do that. And so my wife has no fear of me cheating. I'm in Beverly Hills. I'm in the bed by myself. And this room looked like a little bachelor pad. And I'm in here. Got a couch over there. Got a TV, this HLN. And you see it? This what I'm doing in the hotel room. My wife is asleep. I'm 3 hours behind her. She was falling asleep on the phone. She's not FaceTiming me. She's falling asleep. Like, she has no fear that I'm gonna have a jump off in this room. I got meetings with female clients. She has no fear. She gives no warning. She don't say, you better be good. You better not cheat. You better do the right thing. Show me your room on FaceTime. She don't do none of that. Because of the angle of the game that I give away. She know that I'm putting myself in a prison, that I can't do nothing. But see, if I came on here and I was talking to men about how to game a woman, how to trap a woman, how to trick a woman, how to use a woman, how to dominate a woman, the way the sprinkle woman is doing to y'all women, it's like you have to be slow to listen to her. And so if you didn't know, if you were slow, if you listen to her, that is your sign. Unfortunately, you are slow. And it's unfortunate because some people have people who are mentally disabled and they didn't want that, they didn't pray for that, and it's hard and it's a headache. And I want you to know that you are slow by choice because you don't have to listen. You don't have to be that dumb. You're choosing to be dumb. You're choosing to listen to women give you advice about men instead of listening to the women who are giving you advice about women. A woman should give you advice about a woman. And a woman can give a man advice about a woman. That's why, as a man, I give you advice about men. I give you advice about grown boys. So these women should be giving advice to men about women who game them and use them. But they're not doing that because they feel inadequate and they feel that they are not in a position to talk to a man and to tell a man what to do or to give a man advice. And I saw one woman online. She's a dark-skinned sister with braids, and she gives men advice about how to know they're being cheated on, how to know they're being played, and she get millions of views. She hit a jackpot. She in the sweet spot. She doing what a woman is supposed to do. Woman not supposed to be online trying to tell other women about something they don't even understand themselves. Every woman with any sense knows that every woman she's ever known has been used, abused, or played, which is a clear indication that women know nothing about men. And y'all are fools for listening to women try to tell you about a man when they getting played themselves. That's why I don't even come on here and try to tell you about a woman, because I don't understand women. That's why I don't talk about women. That's why I'm not on here giving men advice about women, because I don't understand women. I am wise enough to know that I know what I know, and I know my gender. I don't know the other gender. And that's what y'all failing to understand. Y'all lumping me in with these women giving y'all advice about men when I am a man. For me to be the same as them, I would be on here giving men advice about women. And you know what I would be doing? I would be getting played by the very women or woman that I'm trying to teach these men about. Because men know nothing about women. And women know nothing about men. So we are intended to teach each other, not our same gender. And that's what create the red pill, is men trying to teach men about women. And these women out here playing the red pill men. These men getting bent over by these women. And these women is annihilating and humiliating these men. They putting 12-inch in these men. And got stories to tell. Got secrets to tell. You hear me? They tricking these men out. These men is swallowing booty beads down the throat and up the booty. And then they get online to give other men advice about women. And the same thing happening with these women. These women is getting dogged out and getting online telling y'all how to get a man. Oh, this what you gotta do. This how you get them. This how you get hypergamy, hypergamy. This how it work. This how you get a man to take care of you. And the man be like, child, please, I'm over here sleeping with your sister. Child, me and your best friend, aren't you? That man be playing in their face and be just laughing behind their back. And they sitting online giving other women advice about men. Y'all have to stop listening to that stuff. And when y'all listen, don't bring that mess over here. And y'all be in the comments loud and wrong. On my page, I give the advice. Don't get in my comments trying to give advice. You don't know what you're talking about. I be giving y'all the game by these men, and then here come women. Well, a man this and a man that, and I think this. Hush. You don't know what you're talking about at all. Hush. Go get on your broke raggedy page and spew that what you talking about and see that it goes nowhere. And see that it don't work for you. Just like it ain't worked for you yet. So there's wisdom in a multitude of counsel. Learn how to listen and hush. When you see somebody of the opposite sex telling you and giving you the game and the secrets about the opposite sex, and that person is living it, what they teaching, they living the life, meaning they honest, they married, they faithful, so they not playing the game, but they not trying to have sex with you. I coach women all day, every day. I ain't trying to have sex with now one of them. You talk to any woman that I coach, she'll tell you, Tony ain't try to have no sex with me. Tony ain't try to be with me. Tony ain't try to go on no date with me. Tony seen my Instagram, evaluated my pictures, gave me feedback, talked to me about looks compatibility, but he didn't tell me he want to be with me, that he'll leave his wife for me, that he think I'm better than his wife, that he'll rather be with me. Now when I'm going to tell you that. And when I tell you, I coach some women that is beautiful, all kind of beauty. Beauty. They done heard me talk about what I wanted and all of that and look just like it. And guess what? They still don't get hit on because I'm called. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like I'll jump off a bridge before I go against the message that God got me given. As hard as it get. As hard as it get. I hurt me before I hurt you. If whatever I got to do to fight that lust, to fight that demon, whatever I got to do, I got to sit up here and drink this immunity water. This one of them things, what they call these, airborne, the little immunity. They call it zesty orange. Come on now, I'll call it zesty. Vitamin C, vitamin D, E, A, zinc, selenium, and manganese. If I got to drink these to fight that lust, that's what I got to do. And that's not literal, y'all. So I'm like, Tony, how you ain't love with that? That's not literal. See how slow you get from listening to somebody talking about a sprinkle. That's witch dust. Got you over there like a dummy. Y'all gotta wake up. Y'all gotta wake up and do better. Gotta wake up and do better. And the thing about it is it's just they make y'all slow to where when I'm giving an example, the amount of women that misunderstood what I was talking about when I said a man don't want no talking woman, they're like, well, Tony, that go against the 3 B's. What B say talking? What B's you talking about? Brand don't mean talking. Don't mean you giving advice. It mean create something you can't be fired from. Brand don't mean life coach. And the only brand ain't gotta be a life coach. Everybody ain't gotta be no life coach. And you could be a life coach, but don't be no life coach for women on how to gain men and how to decenter men. That's what I'm talking about. And the Bible say women not supposed to be preaching. So a traditional man, a Christian man, really don't want a preaching woman. I hate to tell you that. He really don't. Now, if God called that woman to preach and she truly called by God, God will send her a husband if that's God's will for her life. If she an exception to the rule, but the Bible say what it say. And people try to twist it and say that ain't what it mean. and it was this and it was that, and yeah, it's in the last day God gonna raise up men and women and all of that. But it say all of it together, and it say both of it. So which one God gonna mean for you? So if God say you one of the women that's raised up, and it's His will that you be married, then He gonna send you a man that understand that you was called for a time such as this. Now He might raise you up, and it ain't His will that you get married, because He know that then you got to be under that man. You got to submit to that man, and that man not gonna be cool with you traveling the world, traveling the country, doing all this preaching when he trying to have kids, have a family, and have a household. So God may not send no man. He may say, do ministry, because these men are not faithful. A faithful man who can find, the Bible say. So God probably is raising up women probably. And I say probably because I don't know. And so He might not send every woman who He raised up to teach. He might not send him a husband. And if He does, He may send him a certain type of husband who is secure in Him and not wrapping his ego up in being the lead, the head, and thinking that that means that the woman can't do nothing. And so you got to understand, there may be exceptions to the rule, but that ain't what we talk about. We talk about the rule. And if you're an exception, what's understood ain't got to be explained. So, hey, Tony Gasson here. All the important links in the description. God bless you. Keep your head up. Shout out to our supporters, Tony Gasson Family Foundation. Thank you so much. We getting ready here in less than 10 days. In about 10 days, we're taking the boys to Nashville. So we trying to book the flights now. So thank you so much for your support. All the other important links in the description. God bless you. We'll talk soon.